Hi, Danielle and I have some specific information about the loan stuff we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Some questions came up, and we thought we'd take this opportunity to answer them. There's been some movement and changes in that area. But first, we want to say something else. We want to say happy holidays to all of our friends and family, to especially all of our clients and the people who keep us in business, referring us to their friends and family. If without you, we wouldn't have a very good Christmas. So, and we hope that you are celebrating in the place where you ought to be, or we're helping you find the place to move to for next year's holidays, and you'll have a new place to celebrate.
Exactly. So this will be our last Facebook Live until the new year. So we're taking next weekend's Christmas, or next Friday's Christmas Eve. So we're taking that off, and I'm taking Christmas Eve off, or New Year's Eve off as well. That's easy for me to say. I think I need a break. So
we're not going to be. Yeah, we're not. That's the first sign.
Yeah, I can't even.
When you can't even say
it. Yes,
we're not going to bug you on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. And all right, I'll do my favorite dorky joke. See you next year.
Oh gosh.
I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of that in the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. But a couple weeks ago, we had sent one of our emails out to our clients about financing and the various ways that people can get financing. And it's a important topic. Everybody's always talking about it, especially now with the rising prices of homes over the last 2 years or so. Every single dollar counts, and that includes the type of loan you can get and what those interest rates are. So the first thing that came across this month, I think it's been this month, time flies sometimes, but within about the last month or so.
Can I just say one thing? Because there's been a lot of news about interest rates.
Yes.
You're hearing on the news that interest rates are going to be going up, that the Fed is going to be increasing interest rates. That's not mortgage rates. That doesn't mean that mortgage rates won't also go up, but that's not what they're talking about when they talk about those interest rates.
Correct.
So this is specifically mortgage related that
correct.
Danielle's about to go into.
So first of all, one of the big differences that just happened is the change in minimum, or the maximum amount allowed for loans. So two of the biggest concerns that usually people have are down payment, how much they are going to have to come to the table with for these homes that they're purchasing. And then also, do they qualify? And so one of those is, what it's called conforming loans. So conforming loans have where most lenders provide those type of loans. They're usually have they can have some federal backing to it. They have easier standards and a lower down payment. So
it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a regular loan without anything added to it or special circumstances.
Correct. So recently that number has increased. So for 95% of the counties across the United States, that number has been increased to $647,000. That seems kind of really high to maybe people in our area. But that really is, with the rising prices, it really is helpful, because it does change a lot of standards, a lot of interest rates. So interest rates bump up. The amount of lenders that could help provide those loans really dwindle at that time. So this is really an important
down payment, I think, is affected as well.
Absolutely.
So if you go to jumbo,
everything across the board, it is
all of the costs go up when it's a jumbo loan.
To get a jumbo loan, because it turns into from a conforming loan to a jumbo loan, and it's much harder. And so it's very good that they took, knowing that the prices have been just rising. It's much easier to kind of try to get ahead of it as much as you can, instead of having people lose their ability because of changes in the interest rate and their eligibility, just because the houses have so
there's places where 675, or what is it,
647.
647.
Yeah.
There's some places where a house that costs $640,000 is not a spectacular house by any manner of means. It can be a perfectly middle of the road house in many communities. So,
and there are 100 counties that it went up to over $1 million, or went up to $1 million, just because that's how you can't buy anything for less. So that is something lucky in this area. You get a pretty darn nice house for $650,000 for the most part in the areas where we usually cover. So that's one portion. And then the other thing we want to talk about is interest rates. So the actual interest rates for mortgages have gone up this year. At January of 2021, we were at 2.74 on the average. Obviously, everybody's a little different based on debt to income ratio, your what type of loan you're getting, what you're putting down. There's a lot of factors. So that's why we kind of say generality. It's 2.74. December this year, it's at 3.12. So it's almost a whole 0.5% more. And we were running some numbers. And not only does that affect how much interest you pay over the course of the loan. So for like a $300,000 loan, you're going to pay $25,000 more in interest just for that loan. That's not to say your also buying power is going to go down for what you're approved for. Throwing you under the bus, is this too?
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think I can pull it up and share it because of the type of file it is. So,
okay, that's okay.
You know what? I can try to post it below in the comments.
Yes, that would be great. So we also have. When interest rates go up, it's not just over the course of the loan how much more you're going to be paying, but it's also about an eligibility. You're going to lose the eligibility of what your max can spend. So Ruth and I often talk to people and they're like, I want to spend, and they come up with a dollar amount. And it's just kind of off their gut. Sometimes it's, I don't want to spend more than X on a house, which we understand. We don't want to be use sales people and go like, what can I get you in this house for? We don't want you to be uncomfortable with your monthly payment. We're not saying, okay, we're going to see the highs, but we also need to understand that there's other factors. Just because you want to get the house for $10,000 less or $20,000 less doesn't mean if you wait for another 6 months, the cost of the house is going to go up. And the cost of the interest rate can go up. So you're getting on two ends.
Yeah. So your budget is actually going to go down. So if you and your lender agree right now that you can buy a $400,000 house, that could change if interest rates rise significantly. So with a 1 point change in interest in this graphic, I'm going to drop in the comments, you will lose $45,000 in purchasing power. So the very same house you can buy for $355,000 at one interest rate, or at $400,000 at another interest rate for the same monthly payment.
Correct.
So that's what's going to change as well.
Absolutely.
So if you already feel like you're being squeezed on the pricing, the likelihood of that getting better isn't good.
Yeah. So the monthly payment for the interest going up and the prices of home going up and the buying power are going to eventually overlap, and you're going to be kind of behind. You're going to be in a less desirable location than you would have, Now, are we pushing people to buy something just because it's on the market today? No. If it doesn't fit your needs, if it doesn't fit what you can do as far as or willing to do to make it your own, we understand that. But at the same time, hey, the term time is money is
if you want to move,
relevant.
If you are not living in the right place, which is what we always stress, you need to live in a place that fits your life, that works for where you are and what you do and what you want to do. If you're not living there, now is probably the time to find it.
Absolutely.
So give us a call. We won't be doing a Facebook Live, so we can answer your call next week.
Is that what we're doing next Friday? Answering calls.
Answering phone calls. Merry Christmas Eve.
Yes, there you go. So, but yeah, hopefully that was helpful information. If you have further questions about financing, we have some great lenders who can definitely get into the nitty gritty of it all. But it's just, we thought by the end of this year, we really needed to go a little bit more in depth with where we're seeing the market. Because prices are expected to go up next year, and so are likely interest rates for mortgages. So it really is.
Yeah, and part of it is, I think that there's a push by some of the people in charge to kind of cool the market, and raising interest rates is one of the ways that they do that. So you need to. That doesn't mean the market's going to come down. Nobody thinks that's going to happen. It can. Nobody thinks so. But as those interest rates go up, things are going to become less affordable, not more.
Yes. So we hope you enjoyed us. We've been doing this for a year now. We started this in January. So we very much, right?
Yay, us. We did pretty well.
January, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So we hope you have learned some great things from us over the last year. And we always encourage, questions either in the comments or to reach out to us. But we enjoy sharing our knowledge and our advice with our clients and potential clients and even other people, because.
And if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, drop that in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to
burning questions.
Future topics. Thanks.
Absolutely. So take care.